continue. So, okay, how did you feel when you were editing the magazine? Just trying to write something is different from editing other students' writing, yeah? So how was that experience for you?
I think I helped many, not many, and I helped some students to check her essays, and poems. I, and in this experience, I think some students will have a chance to challenge herself to do some right, or to change herself in writing some creative things, or and just different from the Chinese, I think. Maybe later I will talk more.
I wonder, your question is to talk about your experience between your writing and editing your others' writings.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about your experience with writing, yeah? So now I'm asking, how was it editing other people's writing? Because your role was different. You were not just another writer, you were the editors. Yeah. So how was this experience for you?
I learned many things from others' works. Even though I was a junior student for them, they are just senior students at that time. Sometimes I don't know the words. Maybe some words I don't know, or how to use them more accurate. But other students, they know how to use it. They write more perfect poems. So that's when I can learn something. And another one, I can do some. Maybe I can tell them maybe if there are some errors, or maybe for no matter for the grammar or the words, or other things, other aspects. Because we learn some at the class, we learn something about the poems, about writing, so I know that. And another one about editing others' work, I think it's a little difficult, because I don't. Maybe sometimes I don't know whether they use it accurate or not, or how they want to express what experience or what feelings they want to express. I don't know. So sometimes maybe I need to contact or talk with the authors. Maybe. So that's the most experience. Three aspects.
Yeah, maybe another one is to choose the artwork to match the message, the magazines, or we should contact the art apartment to get some artworks, or some in our apartment, and to choose more appropriate artwork to compatible for this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I want to ask again about your relationship with English as a language. Yeah, how is it different working on the magazine? Did your relationship or your feelings about English change? Okay, so do you think the magazine helped you develop a more positive or a more negative relationship with English?
Maybe positive, I think.
How?
Because in this experience, I become more positive to speak English, because I think maybe I often feel nervous or something about confusing about how to write well, or to compose how to compose essays or stories. Maybe in the magazines, I
Keep going.
yeah. I often or make up my mind to do this work well. Yeah.
Okay, for me, I think it's certainly positive, because as an editor, I need to try my best to make the atmosphere more active. So the first thing, I need to be positive. So every time I make myself to do our meeting more actively. So every time I need to do something, I need to prepare something for our meeting, so that it will go smoothly. And another positive is I need to write something or think something in my mind, so that maybe other students, they don't or have nothing to talk about. I need to have something to say. So this is another one, and the last positive I need I think is. Every time I need to make more students come here, so that our meeting will go on, and take their works here. Every time before our meeting, I need to talk with some students, so that they write something and have something to talk. So I try my best to practice English and write something. So I think this makes me more positive about my learning or writing about English.
Okay. Okay, how do you guys feel about English grammar?
Grammar, maybe for me it's not easy for me, because in our senior high school I learned so many grammar focus, right? But maybe just systematically to learn it, I think.
Systematically?
Yeah, systematically. Yeah. And some part of grammar. I try to practice it, and I also think speak out is very good ways to practice or learn the grammar. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of practice, do
Yeah.
you think that editing the magazine, it's a lot of practice with grammar, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, do you think this kind of practice was effective for you? Do you think it made you better or more comfortable?
Yeah, I I think because in to write a poem or something, stories, I often just think about how to use the words or sentences of properly. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Actually, I like English grammar before. Because every time from the very beginning, I began to learn English. Grammar is the best for me. I always did it best. And for the first time in our fresh year, I learned my grammar 成绩 scores is the highest in among all the students. So every time I think grammar, if grammar is best, other things about English will be best. But later I realized it's not. So every time, so later because my old English always when I speak out there is something not grammatically. So and for our later when we do our projects, I know maybe when you write some poems there is no a sentence not grammatically, but it is still very practical, or we can use it. So
Are you saying that grammar in a poem doesn't need to be perfect?
sometimes a sentence may be not grammatical in the poem. Yeah.
But it's okay, because it's a poem.
Yeah. Yes. And especially when we talk with each other, I realized that you don't care about the grammar because you still can know what I say, what I talking about. So maybe grammar is a little in my heart is a little doesn't that matter as before. So but writing is still writing a composition or paper still need some grammar. That's
Okay, so you're saying that the experience in the magazine and at the writer's workshop made you feel like grammar is less important?
maybe writing for only for poems. But for others, it's still as important.
Okay, so was this a new idea for you? This idea that
Yeah.
there are not so many rules in poems?
Yeah.
It's more free? This was new?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like that idea?
Yeah, because that make me realize that English is not that 刻板的 is flexible. Don't like because we learn English. We know we must have a subject and predict and object. Not like because maybe we are Chinese, so we know how to speak Chinese more flexible.
Yeah.
So that makes me know when you speak English, you can also be flexible. Don't need to be that make all the components there.
Okay.
So
Okay, good. Good. So that sounds like it made just that lesson made you feel more comfortable with English.
Yeah.
Is that true?
yes.
Yeah. How about you, Nancy?
I think in the poem, I think of the poet often use the dialect. Yeah, dialect or something. 俚语 slangs
Slang,
in the poem. I think poem is not comply with grammar virtually.
You think a poem is not
Not
what?
comply with.
Doesn't comply with
Yeah,
grammar?
yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, during this project, you had to give advice to a lot of students. Yeah. So my question is, what was easier for you, giving advice about grammar, spelling, these kinds of mistakes that are easy to see? Was that easier for you, or was it more easy to give advice about overall content and meaning? Yeah? Do you understand the question?
就是你对他们的语法或者是拼写错误指出这些错误比较简单，还是觉得给他们整体的意思，就是整体布局那方面更简单？
Like the big idea, giving advice about the big idea of the story or poem, or the small things,
I think
mistakes.
The big one, I think.
Is easier?
Yeah,
Why?
because the big main idea maybe is important for the messages or the stories or essays, I think. Because the main idea is the component for this for the some aspects of some essays or poems or stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I think maybe small things may be more easier, because the big one, maybe the outline or an idea, everyone has his own thinking. They have their own thinking for that. And maybe sometimes we can't get others' ideas about that. But the small ones, we know a words, we know how to change it. We can for sure that this words he or she doesn't use it correctly. And some mistakes, grammars, we know it is for sure that we know that we must use it in this way or that way, but we can't use it for another way or what. So maybe I think grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes or words correct or not, that may be more easier. But for that, everyone have own ideas.
Yeah, I expected you to say that because I know you love grammar. Okay, so how do you feel about the magazine overall? Okay, so there's two parts to that question, okay? Do you think it's good for our students here, NYNU students?
Yeah, I think it's good for the college students. Maybe the foreign language apartment or something other apartment, because maybe some students participate in these activities or not. Maybe in the
Okay, maybe I can do it. You think you have a think, and I think our school need our project badly, because when we learn English, we need some stages to practice it. Maybe not for writing. Every time some students join it, we can talk about others' work, so that can make us know more about English. And in many other schools, there are many stages for the students to practice it. And in our school, when I was a freshman, I actually talk with Yun about these things, but she said there is no teacher to do that work, so students can't do it very well. But now I'm very happy to have this chance to do the job, to be an editor or have this stage to practice English. No matter you write it or not, but there are other students will write it. And this stage will also make students feel about more styles about English, make them know more and know how to do it. Because as an English learner, I think this kind of things we need to know. If we go out or do some work, this is also an experience. Maybe for everyone to have a write or know something about that. Maybe we join this to practice it and. To have writing something, this our Chinese teachers cannot do it because they don't know some poems or we write it, they don't know how to check it. They don't know the rules or everyone have the rules. They don't have one standard rules. Maybe we write it, so we write it can for us to maybe know more cultures or for that you make us to write the short one. Last time everyone do a short stanza to put it together.
The haiku?
Yeah, haiku. Because before our projects, we don't know haiku style, so we can know more about English. I think this is the best. And maybe sometimes we do need to write for some magazine or some paper where no matter we are still students or graduates, so we need a place to practice. But in our class, what we do most is the composition, and after class is the papers. So maybe this can help us a lot.
Okay, so you're saying that this gave students a place to put their writing, a place, a goal, kind of, yeah?
Yeah.
Because without a place to put their writing, they might not write then. That's what you're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we go to the college, we always think our writing is very good than our aspects of speaking or listening or something else. But in the college, we also ignore the importance of writing. In the senior high school, we had a composition in the exam. In the college, I have a few chance to practice the writing. Maybe in a senior student, as for senior students, they have the writing course to learn how to write well. But for the other apartments, they have no chance to practice the writing skills or something, how to use the sentence or words appear properly. Maybe just like Maria said, it's
Victoria?
yeah, Avatar. No, sorry. Yes,
Because you were together so often, people confuse your names, yeah?
yeah. No, sorry. The magazines give us a chance to practice practice our writing skills or to language apartment or other apartment. Yeah.
Okay.